He's offline again, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and post it. Until he gets back online and gives permission, then I guess you can put it in one of your videos. Get ready, this is a long one. Obviously not my story, but the other guy's story, whom I'll call Guri, not his real name. It's gonna be in Guri in text too, since I find it easier to type spooks that way. First, some background. Guri. Be hit by car as a child. Caved his skull inward, had to get a metal plate surgically added in his head. As a result, get problems with hallucinations, auditory, visual, for his entire life. Okay, cool. Usually writes down and describes in detail his visual hallucinations somewhere as to remember them as a habit. A few stick out to them though, especially this one. Okay, now to the story. Still be grips. Wake up in bed because the sun was in his eyes. Immediately thinks something is up, because he sleeps with blackout curtains, photosensitive eyes, and as a result, sunlight can barely get into his room. Okay, what Dutch peg? Sits upright, and looks at his window. The curtains were undone. Through the window, he sees what he, quote, can only describe as a fucking demon. At the time he lived in an elevated house, so he estimated this thing was about 12 feet tall. It had this head resembling a horse's skull, but with sharp teeth akin to that of an apex predator, with what looked like a human face shrink-wrapped over it like rubber. Eyes were grey like if it was blind. He said it reminded him of Long Horse, but only in the rotting horse kind of aspect. Its hand was creeped into Gary's room, as it somehow opened the window and curtains to his room. The rest of its body was outside the window. Gary looks at it. It looks at Guri. It smiles. Okay, what the fuck? WAV. It immediately retracts its hand out of the window, as it pulls itself away, never to be seen again. Guri, I assume, promptly shits himself at this, but probably not, since he's dealt with hallucinations his entire life. Who knows? He does not investigate, but he does have to pull back his curtains, because, somehow, they were actually undone by who knows what. He still doesn't know what could have undone it. He also has another story relating to his grandfather. Should I post it? My grandfather was a cleaner for the US military. He did things that nobody could do on paper. He dealt with things that would cause international incidents. The only thing that ever haunted him enough to tell me was the story of the Rocky Mountain Cave. Someone had stolen something of profound value and had stashed it away. The location, after some investigation, was a cave in the Rocky Mountain range. Where? I'll never know. He never told me. He and 2 other men went up the mountain to the cave. One remained outside to stand guard or rout anyone trying to escape. The other and my grandfather entered. They went about 5 minutes into the cave, when suddenly the other man's lantern went dark. My grandfather did not see what had happened, but he saw the aftermath. Quite literally a torrent of black on the ground. Like a billion insects all crawling over the other man. He fled, seeing no way to help his companion without getting swallowed up himself. The thing that really got him was that he was never sure of what it was. He described it as if it were one solid mass, acting like a bunch of insects. They returned with floodlights, but he didn't tell me if they recovered a body. He did tell me they blasted that cave. Evidently whatever valuable thing had been taken was not worth the resources to deal with that cave. Interesting fact though, I found an article. Later in life, whatever it was, I guarantee this is a cover story.